In which year the Southeast Asian Games started? By the year 2023, the Southeast Asian Games would already be held for the 32nd times. The SEA Games is a biennial multi-sport event involving 11 Southeast Asia countries. In the 32nd edition of the Games hosted by Cambodia, athletes from the Southeast Asian regions will compete in 37 different sports. The Southeast Asian Games was first held in December 1959, in Bangkok, Thailand. It was then known as the Southeast Asian Peninsular Games or SEAP Games. 6 countries participated in the first Games, which featured 12 sports. The host nation Thailand emerged as the overall champion with 35 gold medals. The second SEAP Games was held in Rangoon, Burma in December 1961. The host country, Burma, was the overall champion with 35 gold medals. In 1963, the Games was cancelled and the third SEAP Games was held in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia in December 1965. The host country won 33 gold medals, behind the overall champion, Thailand, with 38. Thailand repeated its victory as the overall champion once again in 1967. But in the fifth SEAP Games, the host country Burma took the top sport as the overall champion. In the next 3 editions of the Games, Thailand proved itself as the region's sporting powerhouse by becoming the overall champion 3 times in a row. The 8th SEAP Games was the last to bear the Southeast Asian Peninsular Games name, before it was renamed the Southeast Asian Games in 1977. The change of name came along with the inclusion of Brunei, Indonesia, and the Philippines for the first time. In the 9th Southeast Asian Games, debutante Indonesia emerged victorious with 62 gold medals. The country repeated its feat when it hosted the Games in 1979 and once again in 1981 in Philippines. Indonesia was set to claim as the new sporting powerhouse after becoming the overall champion for the 4th time in the 12th SEA Games hosted by Singapore. However, the overall champion title was earned by rival Thailand when the Games made its return to Bangkok in 1985. History was made in 1987 when Indonesia hosted the Games for the second time by winning 183 gold medals, the biggest number ever recorded in the history of the Games. Indonesia once again dominated the Games in the next 3 Games. In 1995, host country Thailand produced one of the best overall results by being the overall champion with 157 gold medals. In the 19th edition of the Games, Indonesia rewrote the Games' history by clinching the top spot with 194 gold medals, a record only to be broken 24 years later. Brunei hosted the Games for the very first time in 1999 and produced its best results ever by winning 48 medals. Thailand was the overall champion with 65 gold medals. About 4,200 athletes took part in the 21st Southeast Asian Games in 2001. Host country Malaysia produced a spectacular performance and placed at the top spot in the medal table with the most gold medal won for the first time. Vietnam hosted the Games for the first time in 2003. With East Timor making its debut, the 22nd edition of the Games welcomed all 11 Southeast Asian nations competing in 31 sports. Having won 158 gold medals, Vietnam emerged as overall champion and its performance was regarded as the best ever yet in the Games' history. The year 2005 saw Philippines hosted the Games for the 3rd time in its capital city Manila. 40 sports were featured in the 23rd SEA Games. The final medal tally was led by host Philippines with 112 gold medals. More than 5,000 athletes took part in the 24th SEA Games, hosted by Thailand. As expected, Thailand dominated the Games by winning 183 gold medals. The Games commemorated 50 years of SEA Games, with Laos being the host country for the first time in 2009. About 3,000 athletes competed in 372 events. Because of the limited sports facilities and lack of coastline, only 24 sports were featured in the Games. Host Laos produced its best performance ever by winning 33 gold medals. Thailand was the overall champion, just ahead of Vietnam by 3 gold medals. The 26th SEA Games, also known as Jakarta Palembang 2011, was held in Indonesia. Palembang became the 3rd SEA Games non-capital host city, after Chiang Mai and Nakhon Ratchasima in 1995 and 2007 respectively. Close to 6,000 athletes participated in the Games, which featured 44 sports. Despite not held in the capital city, the Games opening ceremony was dubbed by international media as the most magnificent and spectacular opening ceremony in Southeast Asian Games history. Host country Indonesia led the medal tally by winning 182 gold medals. Myanmar hosted the 27th SEA Games in 2013, which featured 34 sports. At that time, it was Myanmar's biggest sporting event since 1969. A total of 1,531 medals were awarded to athletes. Host country Myanmar performance with 86 gold medals won was their best to date and placed second overall amongst participating nations, behind Thailand with 107 gold medals. The Games returned to the Lion City for the fourth time, as Singapore being host to the 28th SEA Games in 2015. The Games were deemed as one of the most successful ever hosted, with its effective management of costs spent to host the Games and well-organized arrangement of public transport by Singapore. Host country Singapore produced its best performance ever by winning 84 gold medals and placed second behind Thailand. The 2017 SEA Games was organized across several states in Malaysia. The 29th edition of the Games featured 404 events in 38 sports, which include winter sports for the first time. Host country Malaysia performed beyond expectations by winning 145 and ranked at the top of the medal table. Philippines hosted the 30th SEA Games by featuring the highest number of sports in the history of the Games, 56. This edition was also known as the first to introduce surfing, skateboarding, obstacle course race and esports. The Games were deemed generally successful with the rising standard of competition amongst the Southeast Asian nations, with its hosting being lauded by the Olympic Council of Asia for its facilities and hospitality. The host country, Philippines, emerged in the medal tally as the overall champion for the first time in 14 years, breaking its own medal count record in 2005. The 31st SEA Games, originally planned to take place in November 2021, was rescheduled to May 2022. This was the second time Vietnam played host to the Games. Majority of the 40 sports featured this time were in the Olympic program. The host country Vietnam emerged in the medal tally as the overall champions, recording 205 gold medals, the most by any country thus far. Thanks for watching. We shall end this video by showing some of the highlights of the 32nd SEA Games opening ceremony in Cambodia.